A report by Sister Amelia Offers Mercy Freely, Assistant Director of the Gentle Sunlight Orphanage in Red Hawk, Galeria. Amethyst is a quiet girl, polite and well-behaved, but I still worry for her. Losing one's parents is a tragic and traumatic event, not even considering the tragedy that befell her hometown. To be the sole survivor of such a terrible thing, my heart yearns to help mend hers. Still, she refuses all counsel, clams up whenever one of the sisters attempts to broach the subject. Holding such pain in your heart can do nothing but corrode it in the long term, but we risk even worse harm by prying too strongly, and so we allow her to keep us at arm's length. Even worse, the other children have begun to spread rumors about her, say that the magical catastrophe that destroyed her hometown changed her as well, left her changed and strange. They say she has natural abilities, but it's all absolute nonsense. Still, I'm not sure how to stamp out such vile rumors without driving them to flourish in response. Poorly picked weed multiplies, after all. Recently, during our sessions, Amethyst has been asking about the surrounding area, the other towns nearby. She asks for maps and atlases and information about old civilizations. I don't understand what exactly she gets these ideas or why she's so interested suddenly in the country's railway systems, but it gets her talking, at least, so I indulge her. I pray that I do not misstep in my care for Amethyst. I pray that she is able to find some closure, some catharsis for the tragedy that she has experienced. More than anything else, I pray that she someday finds somewhere new to call home.
I'm just like, so are you Professor Orion Montague?
And he's chewing, and he starts talking without even looking at you. He says, yes, I am. And he looks at you and stops dead. His mouth kind of drops open, and the pork chop falls onto the plate.
Oh.
And he says, Alexander? Yeah, Ryan? Why is there a Titan here?
What?
I think Tuka moves a little further away from this guy,
And the same movement that you're leaning back, he leans forward and peers at you. And his eyes are a little weird and kind of hazy.
Yeah.
But they are also weirdly sharp when he's looking at you.
Yeah.
He says, "There's no mistaking it. How did you find us so soon?"
What? What? I have no idea what you're talking about. How do you know?
It's written all over your face, girl.
What?
You're Dominica Valerie.
Damn. Called out.
Okay, Tig's I think I have to leave right now. I forgot some ovens on. But bye.
We turned those off. We made sure to do that.
No. My oven's back at my camp in the forest. But bye.
Oh, and Alexander's are you sure it's the middle of the night?
Uh-huh.
All right. He looks at Orion and starts talking to him, and as you get up and walk away, Orion's "There's no mistaking it. You can't run away from the truth, Titan."
Oh, watch me! And Tuka runs real fast.
Yeah. Watch
Right.
You can't run away from the truth, Tuku. Watch me.
That's our thief. All right. So, I think the camera, we get the shot of Tuku running into the caves, and then, like, it pans upward into the darkness of the ceiling, and then continues to pan up from the underbrush, and now we're back at the campsite. Cool scene transition.
Nice.
Because I'm a director, right?
Thanks, George Lucas.
It wasn't a star wipe.
It's true.
Anyway. So, this is a little bit later. This is after most of the folks have gone to bed. Eustace went to bed, and then Charlie went to bed, and is holding Eustace's hand. Cause he doesn't have all his friends to sleep on.
Aww.
Goblins like to huddle together for warmth. And Eustace is the only warmth around. The fuzziest warmth around, at least. So he's like kind of clinging to his arm. And the, rich boys, the nerds went to sleep a while ago.
Okay.
And so now it's just you and Nemo. And you realize at this point that Nemo, you have never seen sleep. Which might be weird.
Okay. What?
What's up?
That's just a so fucking weird ass thing to say. And now
you also haven't necessarily been with him every single night, right?
Yeah, right. Okay, but does he look like tired?
No.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say
yes.
Oh,
but
does he always look tired though?
Yes.
I'm gonna say, well, I guess it's time to turn in. If Tuku isn't back by morning, we can go look for her.
All right, that sounds like a plan. It doesn't make any movements.
Cool. So, I had a question.
And here you say you're not a scholar.
Have you ever heard of something called the Wastes?
He's still got like the skewer in his hands. And when you say wastes, he kind of like it twists in half. Where did you hear that?
Okay, so you have heard of it.
I'm not saying I didn't say that.
I pull out the Star's Grimoire, and I say, it's written in here on the entry about the, whatever the machine was that made that purple food we found.
Pink food.
Right, pink food.
Yeah. And he looks at it and he says, I can't read that.
It's just for emphasis.
He sighs and he throws the twisted skewer into the woods. And he says, listen, Zara, it's not important right now, alright? You've got more relevant things to worry about.
I'm gonna look him up and down. Let's see. What's his...
he's like looking away from you.
Okay. I'm gonna, take a gulp and I'm gonna say, you said I'm the boss, right?
Yes.
Okay then. Well, then I'm ordering you to tell me what you know.
So I think he looks at you. He says, you're ordering me.
I take a gulp and I say, yeah, that's right.
Alright. So I think this calls for, a parlay.
Parlay?
You do have leverage over him because you are his boss.
I am the boss. That's right.
You're the boss. Actually, let me look at something. Because this might be under a, hireling move.
Oh.
So hirelings do what you tell them to do as long as it isn't dangerous, degrading, or stupid. And their cost is met. So when a hireling finds himself in a dangerous, degrading, or just flat out crazy situation due to your orders, you have to roll plus loyalty. I think this isn't necessarily dangerous but like, this is like you are pushing him on something, using specifically your status as his like superior as the leverage.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this might be that move.
Okay. What's his loyalty with me?
It is, +2.
+2. Alright. That's a 9.
All right.
Partial success.
So, on a 7 to 9, they do it for now, but they come back with serious demands. And so he looks at you, and he narrows his eyes, and he says, all right, you're the boss. But you can't tell anybody about this, all right?
Not even Tiyuku or her?
Tiyuku falls
the
under
others?
anybody.
Okay, I promise.
All right. And he unbuttons the first couple buttons of his shirt, and he pulls down the collar, and you see that he has a crescent moon and 2 stars branded on his chest, like just over his heart.
Okay.
And he says,
now, you said branded.
yes.
Not like tattooed. Branded.
Yeah, like burn scar.
Oh, God.
That's some wild stuff.
Yeah. It is like a shiny white burn, like scar. Kind of old. You can tell, pretty old. I don't know how elf, like, healing and, like, scarification works. But it's old. And he says, the wounded wastes are the last battlefield between us and the anguished.
You take a gulp and I say, oh, where is it?
He doesn't say anything. He just points to the moon, which you can see. You can always see it. The moon is always out. It's dim during the day, but you can always see it. It's like the moon is like the North Star of the setting. It points north. It is the absolute north from wherever you're standing. It's moonward or away from the moon. And he points to it. And then he draws his finger down to the horizon.
Okay.
And while you're looking at the moon, you realize something. Because another thing we've mentioned is that the moon, one, it's cracked in half.
Yeah.
That's we know that. But 2, it doesn't have phases because the moon doesn't move. It is very much like stationary in the night sky. Again, so much so that people can orient themselves against it.
Okay.
And so it doesn't change its phase. But you see, looking at the moon tonight, that the left side of it, from your orientation, is fading, is dark. As if another heavenly body is casting a shadow on it.
I've never noticed this before in my life.
It's never been like that in your life that you've seen.
Oh, boy.
I don't know how much time you spend staring at the moon.
But this is new.
It is new.
Like, it's not like a new perspective on something I've seen a bunch?
No.
Oh, boy. Ford's not going to be happy about this.
No, I think there's a lot of things that Ford isn't going to be happy about. But that's how it goes, isn't it?
That's how it is on this bitch of an archipelago.
Yeah.
What does the scar mean?
He looks down. That's for people on the front line. And he buttons his shirt back up.
Oh my goodness. Damn.
What did you think celestialist meant?
Studied the stars or something?
Well, you know. And he gets up. And he says, that's all you're getting out of me. Tonight, at least. You should get some rest. And he starts buttoning his shirt back up. Which is when you hear, or maybe you don't, because she's so quiet.
Yeah.
Little pause walking through the underbrush. Do you like say anything to announce your arrival?
I think I sneak. Are they like by sitting out somewhere where I can see them?
They're sitting at like the dying embers of this fire. Nemo is currently standing.
Okay, I want to try to sneak up on them, at least on Zara. Like, I don't really that much care if Nemo sees me. I want to like put part of my hands on Zara's shoulders and be like, "Boo! Hey, I'm back."
You nearly gave me a heart attack.
Oh no!
Well, I guess you didn't die.
Don't scare me like that.
Don't get scared like that. Sorry. I couldn't resist.
Where were you? Where did you go?
Oh, I went to solve everything, meet some people, make connections. I met the professor.
You met Professor Montauk? Well, where is he?
At a weird place called, Squire's Right.
Squire's Right?
Yeah.
What is it? It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now.
So what?
It's an airplane joke. Someone's like, we need a hospital. And the guy's like, a hospital? What is it? And he goes, well, it's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now.
Airplane's a good movie, isn't it?
I love that movie. That's great.
I've heard it's good.
And they also had a weird machine that I think was Titan Tech. So I think I found our uplink.
Oh, what kind of machine?
Oh, the one that gave out the pink stuff.
Oh, perfect. Great. We just have to go there and we can get the uplink set up. And Ryan's there too, right? So it solves all our problems at once. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, like I said, I solved everything. As usual.
How efficient.
Now, see? There's no reason to doubt our wonderful thief Tiyuku.
You got in no trouble getting in or getting out.
Impressive. So when are you going?
I mean, we could go tomorrow.
It is rather late. I wouldn't mind catching a nap.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Alright, so the morning rolls around, and the camp is abuzz with activity. It seems like the Archaeological Society, who went to bed before you, were a lot better at getting up early. They are like, going back and forth. You smell coffee brewing in a pot. You smell bacon sizzling. Tuller grumbles, it's the last of our bacon. And yeah. Tiyuku, do you introduce yourself, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, hello.
The Archaeological Society were sleeping in a curtain off area, with a bunch of curtains strung between a bunch of trees to keep a privacy tent almost. And they walk out and they see you, and the handsome one, Providence, he goes, oh, hello. You must be a friend of Miss Fontaine's.
Yes, I got lost in the woods last night. Terribly embarrassing.
Oh, no worries. It's very circuitous around here. And he gives you this deep bow. He says, my name is Providence Castor, and, well, any friend of Miss Fontaine's is a friend of mine.
How wonderful. My name is Tiyuku Campana.
A pleasure to meet you. Miss Fontaine, we figured it would be best to get an early start in the morning. Hopefully we can find something this time. As long as we keep our eyes open. He looks over at Tulerin, who grumbles and goes back to his bacon.
Oh, what are you looking for?
Well, the Archaeological Society is looking for Professor Montauk.
Oh.
Really, we're looking for whatever the ruins were that he was so assured of before he disappeared.
Yeah, the ruins where Professor Montauk might be. I mean, not that we know if he's there or not. I look at you, what do we do?
Oh. Well, I hope I can be of help, because while I was lost in the woods, I walked awful far. And, what's the opposite direction of where the uplink is?
Their camp is actually past the uplink.
Oh.
It's to your west, so there for them it would be to the opposite direction would be the east.
It's a little ways to the east. A long ways to the east, actually.
East.
East.
And he looks over at his friends and he says, "Didn't we look east for a while? It's nothing but hills and bushes out there, isn't it?" And Galileo and Tulerin nod.
Did you look closely? Because I wouldn't have noticed this, but I am awful clumsy, so I accidentally tripped over some stuff, and when I tripped, some moss fell off, and there is some old structures there. I think they need to be. There were some marks of someone digging around there too, very recently, I think.
Huh.
It was yeah. It was pretty hidden though, so.
I see.
You might have to look for it a bit, and it was kind of far away.
And Providence, is stroking his chin again. And I would like you to defy danger charisma.
Okay, well, let me do that. And I rolled a 10.
A 10. Ooh. All right. Yeah, so they believe you. She says, "All right. Well, I guess we'll look again." Mm-hmm. All right, chaps. He straightens up. He's wearing like this hiker gear, like this really like the kind of hiking gear you see in a fashion magazine more than you would see it in a outdoorsman magazine.
Oh no.
You know the type.
Yeah.
Well, chaps, I suppose east is our bearing. Daylight's wasting, so it's best to be off. And Timon's like, "Oh my god, we have to poke through hills again." It's like, come on, chin up. Be fine, totally fine. It'll be maybe we'll even find something. Miss Campana says that there is ruins in the moss. Let's see what we can find. And Turin sighs, and Galileo shrugs, and they all head off.
Nice.
I feel a little bad about misleading them, but I think we have enough trouble with this.
Yeah.
Yes, says Nemo. They should not come. They are kids.
I feel really good about misleading them. Honestly, I feel that was the right way to start the morning. Really put me on a good mood.
Yes, a mood of lying.
I preferred misdirection as a word.
TUQ, lead the way. You know how to get to Squatters, right? What's it called?
Yeah, I believe that's what it was called.
Okay.
Yeah, I promised them not to tell anyone, but you know me.
Yeah.
And
he shakes his head and said, "All right, lead the way."
Oh, and we're taking the caps, obviously.
Yeah.
And are those in a cart or?
Yeah, they're in a cart, right? And I think we just made Eustace. Did we have we must have had horses, right?
Yeah, you got horses.
Okay, good.
Oh my god!
This isn't like the kind of campaign, the kind of game where I'm like, roll for a horse.
Roll for a horse.
I want the horses to be named. One of the horses to be named Blueberry.
Ah.
Blueberry. All right.
Blueberry the horse.
Blueberry, and then Raspberry the cat back at the place.
That sad coincidence.
Strange coincidence, yeah. All right, so Blueberry and Charles, your two horses. Because you only need one cart for two calves, because they're light-ish and they're heavy-duty carts. Anyway, either way, you take them. Not leaving a trail is because you're taking a big cart full of heavy robots through the woods. And as you're walking, I think you want to keep an eye out for things. Make sure you're not getting tailed or anything. I would suggest what's it called? Like a perilous journey. But you don't need to worry about quartermaster. It's just a matter of, I think, because Tuku's being basically the trailblazer, making sure you get to the right place.
Yeah.
And Zara, you can scout to keep an eye out and make sure that nothing hinky happens.
Fine with me.
So we will plus wisdom.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a 12.
I got an 8.
12. Wow. And an 8. Okay. So, with an 8, you get there on time. You don't get there faster than usual, but you're able to take a pretty solid route there. Zara, with a 12, you notice as you're walking through the forest, you get the distinct impression that somebody is watching you. There's, you hear like some rustling, and then you actually start to hear like murmured voices in the tree line.
Whoever's watching us, we can see you.
If you can see us, why are you saying whoever? You should know who we are.
Do I recognize that voice?
Yeah. You hear like a smack, and then, ferocious Oliarch, comes into view, rubbing his arm. And he is followed by Defiant Poignard, who is rubbing her knuckles, and, Inquiring Leon, who is just got his face in his hands.
Hello.
I don't even know why I hang out with you guys. He's inquiring to himself. And Ferocious, holding one arm, he waves to the other one. He's like, "Hey, hi, what's up? Just hanging out in the woods, doing wood stuff." Wood stuff.
I look at Tiyuku. What do you think, Tiyuku? Sound, legit?
Oh yeah, I hang out in the woods and do wood stuff all the time.
Defiant like puts her whole hand on the side of, Ferocious's face and just pushes him. And she says, "We're not doing wood stuff, jackass. We came to tell you something. Right, Pharaoh?" And, he like jams his hands in his pockets as far as they will go. And he's like, Yeah, I'm came to tell you something.
Well, I'm right here.
He like sighs. He's like, "Dee, why don't you do it?" She's like, "I have no reason to do it. This is your fault." He goes, "Fine." And he looks at you, and looks at the ground, and he says, "I'm sorry."
Oh, you mean for the other day? Don't worry about it. It's water under the bridge, really. If anything, I should be the one to be sorry. After all, I tap my goggles and I'm like, I didn't mean to give you such a pronounced shock.
Yeah, totally, exactly, right? And he looks at Defiant, who just shakes her head, and she's like, "No. The only reason she shocked you was because you was trying to shake her down in front of the observatory, dick." And he says, "All right, I'm sorry for shaking you down in front of the observatory."
It's, again...
"Or at all," says Defiant. "Or at all," he says.
Again, not a problem. Just next time, make sure you understand who you're dealing with. I wink.
And Defiant kind of says, "So yeah, we heard that you were out here doing something for the dean, so we figured we'd come and help. It was the least we could do after, getting you in this mess."
I look at Tiyuku and Eustace and I say, we appreciate it, really, but, I'm afraid what we're doing is a little bit, it could be dangerous.
Dangerous?
Yeah.
"Well, I tell you what, Zara, we live for danger," says Defiant and flexes.
Well, that's very impressive, but I'm sorry. Man, I really want to take them along. But no. But we have a handle on it. I think you should just go back to the university. We'll be fine, really.
Are you sure? You don't need any help?
Oh, I've got all the help I need right here. Right, Tioku? Charlie?
Yeah.
And Defiant kind of sighs. She says, all right. And then Ferocious and Inquiring like, all right, sick, awesome. Yo, Inky, you want to see if those Archaeological Society Yay? I don't know, Pig. Do you want to see if they got any good stuff? Fine, I guess. Sure. Says Inquiring, and the two of them run off into the woods in the direction of the camp. And Defiant tries to call after them and then just shakes her head. She turns back to you and she says, okay, you don't need our help. But I still feel like I should do something for you. So, she reaches in her pocket and she pulls out a slip of paper, a folded slip of paper, and she says, here, you're like a science magic-y person, right?
Oh, yes, I'm very interested in magic.
This, feels like this would be up your alley. But, don't show it around, okay? And she just kind of presses it into your hand and, salutes and then walks into the woods in the direction of the university.
Yeah, okay, I look at it.
Okay. It is a flyer for a demonstration of the Metamorphosists.
The Metamorphosists?
Yes. It says, all like-minded individuals welcome. Intellectuals, philosophers, and those who wish to push further than society deems appropriate. Who wish to push beyond what nature deems our limits.
Huh. Does it say, like, a meeting or anything?
There's, like, a couple dates. Most of them have already passed. There was one left, but it's in 2 weeks.
Oh, crap. We're probably good to go. Alright, well, I'm gonna pop that into my pocket. I can't attend that meeting, but that's an interesting idea. Maybe I'll run across them sometime in the future.
Yeah. It does say, meeting all across the archipelago.
Huh. Interesting. And I've never heard of these people before.
You can spout lore, but, I don't think so.
I like the mystery. I'm gonna keep it mystery for now.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just something that you've never come across. Which is weird considering your affinity for magic.
Alright. In my pocket it goes.
Goes in the pocket. Boop, boop. And, you continue on into the woods. Since Tuku did pass that thing, there's no additional problems. You make your way to Squatter's Right. You make your way to the mouth of the tunnel of Squatter's Right? It is actually kind of well, disguised in the sense that it is it's very hilly around here. It's very hilly and mountainous all across Galeria. And there seems to be almost a ring of hills that obscure the entrance of this cave from the outside.
Cool.
Okay.
You just leave the carts out here?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna ask, Nemo and Eustace and Charlie to wait out here with them. And I'd be like, maybe we should just go in the two of us. I mean, someone has to make sure that the calves aren't, damaged.
Yeah, sure. That sounds like a good idea. You also realize that you've got, carts. You've left wagon wheel tracks to weigh.
Some people can follow us here.
They could, yeah.
Joy.
Because you brought the carts.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Nothing we can do about it now.
If Charlie does go oh my god, we could get tracked. And he goes and starts patting the ground, trying to massage the wheel grooves back into flat ground. But it's not going to do much. So.
I mean, we already did get tracked and nothing happened. How many more people can there be in this forest? Really?
Really? Yeah, totally. All right. So the two, you just go inside.
Yeah, Tuku's just yoo-hoo, I'm here, I'm back, hello.
All right. You go in, and there are the traps that you left that you passed earlier. They are reactivated, but you see them because you saw them before.
Yeah, I point them out to Zara, those sit there.
Does it there?
Yeah, yes, of course. Are you sure they're going to be okay with us just walking in like this?
Oh, probably not, but, it'll be fine.
Great.
They can't be that mad.
Jeez.
We got along so nicely.
Alright. So yeah, you're calling on the way in?
Yeah.
And you hear, scuffle, feet shuffling inside, and you hear, oh my gosh, she's back. She's back. And the thumping of feet coming down the tunnel is wait! Let us disarm the traps. We don't want you to get trapped and cut or stabbed or fallen into a hole.
Oh, we're fine. Don't worry.
Well, maybe we should let them disarm the traps.
I wait. I don't think I'll move. Now that I hear that, we're gonna get stabbed and fall into a hole, I, do not move.
I want to say that Tuku just, runs over real fast and it's okay, you can disable the traps now.
Okay, after she passes all of them?
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
it's about professional pride not to have them disabled for her.
Alright. Jacques and Julien come and they, see you and say, oh, okay. And then they see Zara and they say, oh! Hello! It is a countrywoman.
Oh,
one of our people.
Oh, hello. It's nice to meet you.
Hello! Give us one moment so we can make sure that you don't get stabbed and chopped into pieces and fall into a hole or shot by a crossbow.
Yeah, okay. I'm not moving.
Magnifique. And they start just fiddling with the traps, and after a few minutes they're okay, it's safe.
I want to say that Tuku's hope they didn't forget anything.
Horrible.
She knows they didn't. She knows they didn't.
Mean cat.
I tiptoe, sweating bullets every single step of the way until I'm through. And then I'm and I kiss the ground. Oh, thank goodness.
We did not
Tuku.
miss any.
Don't scare me like that, Tuku.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
twice in one day.
Well, technically 2 days. I mean...
No, technically it was at about 4 a.m. when you returned, so it is still today.
I don't think it's today until I've slept.
I dust myself off, and I walk up and I say, it's really rare to see Halaganel this far from Valentina. May the blessings of the king preside over all your days.
And yours as well, sister. Yes, it is strange for us to be here, Jacques says. But, there's a lot of bakers in Mandelbrot where we are from, and we thought we might come to a new country and make a splash. It did not work that way.
Why not? Valentine bacon is the best baking in the world.
It is. That's true. But Galeria has this thing called incorporation laws. You need to have a business code and register. We came to Galeria with 200 coins, 200 Valentinian, crowns. All of the money we'd saved our entire lives, and we met this individual who told us that he could get us registered with the Admiralty as licensed bakers, and so we could get a business license and open up a bakery. He lied. He took all our money and left us here, and we were on the street for a while. Before Alexander found us and showed us this place, and, it's not cooking for the crowds, but, we still get the chance to bake sometimes. And you actually now smell, the smell of baking bread, of fresh baked bread.
Ooh. Oh, I'm like,
This, Raspberry's Hall yesterday, as it were. Had some flour and some sugar and salt, and so we were able to get a little something put together.
Oh, I haven't had sweetbread in forever. I'm like licking my lips, like, sweetbread.
Well, my sister, it would be an honor for us to feed you. They lead you in, and Julian is getting the bread out of the oven, and it is real good bread. They are fantastic bakers. It's sweet bread, so it's like, I don't know if it's shortbread or what, but it's real good. Yeah, so they pull it out and they start slicing it. And they say, it is lovely to bake again, especially for someone who can appreciate it fully. And Raspberry's there, and Amethyst is there. And Raspberry's like, oh, hey, TQ. Nice to see you again.
Hey.
And Amethyst says, what?
Hello.
Who is she? Who are you? Why are you
with
here?
Tiyuku?
So Yuzara, you see this kind of, not very glossy, kind of like, matte, purple shelled dwarf, who looks like she's like Dwarven 14, or whatever that is. I don't know how the age spans of dwarves work, but she's young. And this kind of stringy looking, black and orange Kushaki, who's just chill. But the dwarf is like, hey, you weren't supposed to tell anybody about this place.
Oopsie. I didn't tell anyone else, except for, some guys outside, but, they're with us.
Guys outside?
Don't sweat about it.
Don't sweat about it.
Don't worry.
Oh my gosh. Forget about it. Yeah, so she just kind of like gets up and storms over to the corner where her crossbow is.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, Alex! She's back and she brought more people! And Alex, from the side of the wall where you saw that like big curtain nailed to the wall, it like pulls aside and you can see that there's like a sleeping area in there. And Alex, the bugbear, in like pajamas almost. Not really pajamas, but like ratty, like old clothes.
Yeah.
Looks kind of groggy, his hair is all frazzled. Comes out and he's like, what's going on?
Oh, hey, good morning.
My god damn. What the hell are you doing here?
A lot of things, actually.
A lot of things.
Yeah. For one, we would love to meet the professor.
Alright, I mean, you met him last night. What do you want him for?
Well, we're hopefully here to convince him to come back with us, but more than that,
I sort of point at the machine, because we can see the machine, right?
You can see the machine.
Yeah. More than that, we're here for that. And for the rest of the technology in this place.
What? Listen, that machine is important for us. It's the only way we can survive down here.
I look around. Does it look like these people are living well?
No.
I'm going to look at Tiyugu, and I'm going to say,
we could really use some help on the island, right?
Yeah, sure, probably. I don't know. I didn't do anything there.
And we are supposed to, be evangelizing for the Titans, right?
Don't know about that part, but...
Well, you're a big help.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, sure, I guess. I guess we could, go about talking about how, amazing we are,
Look, you all live here out of necessity, right?
I mean, yeah, there's not really anywhere else to go.
Well, what if I said there was?
Well, that sounds like a nice thing to hear, but, I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, I do know of a place, it's where we're from, or rather, where we work. It's called the Bastion. It's an island off the coast of Galeria, and we're going to be returning there. It's not much, but we have all the beds and supplies you could ever want, and we really could use more people, especially people who are capable of working. It's for little sort of an expedition.
The island doesn't belong to any government, right?
True. Yeah, I don't think it's under any sort of rulership either.
Huh. So I think this is a parlay.
Okay. You want to smoke up too? While we're at it.
You're attempting
to. Can I actually use the pipe leaf? Like legit?
Yeah, if you want.
Like why don't maybe we say like, we've been sitting down, and we,
Oh, sure.
Okay.
So you're like, hey, let me wet your whistle, partner, and you give him a pipe.
Maybe they notice it and they're like, hey, let's because I always feel weird like offering it to smooth grease the wheels because this just seems really like it just seems really weird.
Yeah. Maybe Tuku's like it's customary amongst our people to smoke this while taking
to smoke a J. Yeah.
Yeah, this customary to smoke while we invite you to our island nation that I am the ruler of.
It's customary to smoke before we go to our micronation.
Yeah.
I'm a sovereign citizen. Traffic laws don't apply to me.
To the gay and lesbian kingdom of Australia.
Yeah.
All right.
I think taxes are bullshit.
First Amendment, Second Amendment, yeah.
If you violate my nap, I'll shoot your helicopter down.
All right. Roll that parlay. Because you definitely got leverage being like a place for his people to live.
Right, with the +1 too, right?
With the +1?
That's a 10.
That's a 10. All right. That's good. You can see he's mulling it over and he says, all right. If you can promise that this place isn't going to have any Galerian oversight, I'll just damn sight better than living in a hole in the ground.
Well, it definitely doesn't. And, again, like I said, we could really use the help. It's kind of important. So, what do you say? You want to help us, save the world?
Save the world? That sounds like something. But, listen, let me try to talk to Orion about it, and, we'll see what he has to say, because I don't go where he doesn't, if I can help it.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, he says, let me go look for Orion, see if I can find him, and, we'll see what he thinks. And he heads off.
I look at Tiyuku like, oh, friends.
Nice.
So you said you wanted to look at that machine?
Yeah, 100% want to look at that machine.
Alright, so
I want to talk it to it with Tiyuku.
Okay.
I want to say like, well, this is the machine, right?
Yeah.
Well, what do you do?
Oh, you have to ask politely. Grovel if you must.
Ask politely.
Pull the lever.
Ask politely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up and I'm gonna sort of examine the machinery of it.
Okay. With the let me see this move?
Yes, let me see that. When you take a few moments to handle or examine something interesting, ask the GM 2 of the following questions. What does this do? Who made this? What's wrong with this and how I fix this? What's been done to this recently? What's been done most recently with this or to this? I know what it is.
Uh-huh.
I know what it does. I know who made it. I want to know what's wrong with it and how might I fix it.
So one thing you see is that it is, it's salvaged, right? This is not at its full capacity. And a big part of that is that it has been repaired with materials that are not the materials that it needs. What it really needs is like Titanite and magic, and like new batteries and all stuff that's not here, but it is stuff that's at the Bastion.
Nice. Okay. All right. I can fix it there potentially if we can get it there. Excellent.
Uh-huh.
And what has been done to this most recently?
Most recently, it was fished out of the whatever is back there, wherever it was in, which now is the scrapyard or in the back chamber, and it was fixed up and turned on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
And yeah,
easy
looking at it, you figure it's like it's not just a food synthesizer, though it is that, and it's using like the magic. It's using magic to transform air into food, which is wild, like oxygen and hydrogen and nitrogen and stuff, whatever's in the air. You also know that looking at it, if you had different stuff, you could put into it and make it taste like different things.
Oh, cool. Really? No shit.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. And then I have one last question that's not related to these.
Okay.
Looking around, can I tell this is the uplink?
This machine?
No, not the machine, this place.
Not in this room. This room doesn't look, but, I mean, this machine definitely came from wherever the uplink is.
Okay, so it's probably... Okay, so I can presume it's around here.
Yeah.
Great. Easy.
Mm-hmm. And, did you want to try it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You have to ask it nicely, right? Tiyuku?
Yeah. You have to ask nicely. Say please.
Okay, here it goes.
It helps if you're polite.
Mm-hmm.
Mighty Machine. Hi there. I'm Zara, and I would really like some food. So if you could offer some, I would sure appreciate it. I pulled a letter.
All right. Chunk. And that is
10.
All right. Yeah, it makes those like chunk tonk bang 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 chunk tonk, like, you know, move, like the sounds of things rattling around, and it like kind of lights up and it says, "Finally, someone with a few little manners."
Can is this like does it say that in like our common language?
No, but you know what it says.
Oh, okay. So I say, oh well, it's no problem. Thank you for the food.
And yeah, you hear like a boom, as two full bars of that pink material fall
Full bars
of that pink material fall into the receptacle at the bottom.
All right, great. I pick them up. All right, I give Tiyuku one of the bars.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so these bars are like bar of soap sized, as opposed to like the small like kernel you got before. Each of them, when ingested, heals 15 hit points.
Ooh. So it's like a healing potion.
That's my whole
It's actually
point.
better than a healing potion. It also covers your rations for a day.
Oh, good food. I can't wait to take this back to the bastion and abuse it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a restriction on that. Like only one person per trip can use it, or something. But yeah. And Raspberry's like, hey, you got it to work. Good job. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And Amethyst is pouting. She says, I'm gonna be in the room, so let me know when you're done and when the weirdos are gone. But I guess we might be moving in with them. Ugh! And she goes into the sleeping area.
Okay. Tikustas are like, good job. I knew you could do it. You're so good with machines after all.
Oh, well, I suppose I am.
Yeah, don't tell anyone, but when I tried it, it didn't work.
Oh, well, I'm sure I can help you get it to work later when we get it back to the bastion.
Thank you, I would love that.
And around this time, you hear rustling from the wooden panels on the back of the cave, and they shift to the side, and you see Alexander Granite, along with Professor Ryan Montauk, who you know, I told you what he looks like before, but he's like an old man with a big white beard and big white hair. Dirty, still dirty. Doesn't look like he's slept since you've seen him last, Tuku.
Oh.
And he says, yeah, Ryan, these are the folks we were telling you about. They were telling us about a place we could go and live. And Orion nods and he says, I know, Alexander. I know. This is Arthur Clearwater, Dominica Valerie, and the Titans. They're here to save us. You realize that his robes have been bunched up around his hands, like he's been holding his hands inside of his sleeves. And he pulls them aside, and he brandishes a knife.
Wow.
Okay. What you got there, buddy?
What's the knife for?
And you look at the knife in his hand, and it is this. It looks like it's carved from a solid piece of white gemstone, what's called moonstone, except for a black crack running through the length of it. And he looks at you, and he looks at the knife, and he says, "This is our salvation."